Cleaning options and consequences not cleaning your gun. Hey, welcome to Let's Talk Guns with Pupwud and Ladies Get Your Gun Basic Firearms Training Program. Tonight we're going to talk about cleaning equipment and consequences of not cleaning your gun. There's a lot of different products out there on the market. We're going to talk about what's what, who's who, and when's when, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you again for joining us at Let's Talk Guns with Pupwud. My name is Greg Jordan, aka Pupwud. For those of you that have not seen any of my videos, I'm a longtime firearms enthusiast and public safety professional, law enforcement, fire service, etc., military background, as well as long-term firearms competitor. Tonight we're going to talk about firearms maintenance, gun maintenance, for my friends and for some of my cousins, gun cleaning. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about this evening. I get a lot of questions and I get a lot of different people have different theories on gun cleaning equipment. I'm going to break it down for you, keep it as simple as it needs to be so you don't get overly confused. Now, just like when we were talking about holsters in our earlier video, and when we were talking about ammunition in our earlier video, you have to buy some things, some cleaning equipment that is specific to your particular size of gun. And we're going to go in that, we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. Okay, you go to the firing range, you shoot your gun, you come back. There are different thoughts or schools of thought on when I need to clean my gun. If I go out and I fire 10 or 15 rounds through my gun, I'm probably not going to come back and clean it immediately. But if I go to the range and I shoot 50 rounds, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do what I refer to as a quick cleaning of my gun, which basically means I'm going to take the magazine out, remember the 4 cardinal rules of safe gun handling, and I'm going to physically check. Oh look, I have, just so happens I have a gun right here. And I'm going to physically check that firearm, physically check the magazine well, visually look into the chamber, make sure there's nothing there. I've got an unloaded gun. I'm going to take a bore snake and I'm simply going to run a bore snake through the barrel. That's going to help clean the chamber, clean any powder fouling or anything out of the barrel. And then that's really all I'm going to do after about 45, 50-ish rounds. That's what I'm going to do to clean that gun. Now, after I fire 250 or 300 rounds at the range, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a detailed cleaning of that particular firearm, which means I'm going to take everything apart and detail clean that gun. Okay? I'm going to clean every part. I'm going to use powder solvent. I'm going to do more than just use a bore snake ran through the barrel of that particular gun. Okay. I'm going to lay the parts there on the table. Now, you've heard me mention 2 or 3 different things. Lubrication, solvent, bore snake. Bore snake is just, this is actually bore snake for a 12 gauge shotgun. Too big for a 9mm pistol. We don't need that. This is a bore snake for a 17 caliber rifle. Too little for a 9mm pistol. We don't need that. This is for a 20 gauge shotgun. 223, 22. We don't need that either. Oh, there's another 223, 22. Look at these. They're exactly the same. They're exactly the same. They're packaged, but you have to pay attention to what you're picking up when you pick up items for cleaning off of the shelf. This one is in the same container as this one, yet this one is for a 7mm rifle. Could be used on different pistols if you've got a pistol that has near that particular caliber. Most pistols aren't, so we're going to lay that over here to the side. But it would be easy to get these two confused if you weren't paying attention. So tonight we're going to focus on 9mm. Anytime you buy anything that's going to go through the chamber, down the barrel of your gun, you need to make sure that it is the correct size for your particular firearm. If I was going to clean this 9mm barrel from this Glock model 19 right here, I need 9mm accessories to go along with it. Okay, just keep that in mind. So this is a bore snake. It is 9mm. Just pop that, take that apart, and you pull the bore snake out of the container there. Basically, all this is it is muzzle patch or bore patch material. It has made into it a bronze brush to scrub any impurities, any powder fouling, anything that's kind of stuck to the metal. And then you pull it on through, and it's got a large amount of patch material back here that kind of cleans out anything else that may be in the barrel of the gun. Whether the gun is together or whether the gun is apart, it's very simple to use. There's a string, 550 cord paracord string with a weighted brass weight on the end of it. Anytime you're cleaning your gun, you want to make sure and clean it from chamber end toward muzzle end. The direction that the bullet travels is the direction you want to make sure that you're running brushes, swabs, anything like that down through the barrel. You want to make sure it's going the direction that the bullet goes. But really, all you got to do for a quick cleaning is drop that bronze weight down from the chamber end to the muzzle end of the barrel, pull it through. You feel it'll get really, really tight when the bronze brushes start to adhere or start to scrub the inside of the barrel. You pull it on through, okay, and pull it on through till it pops out, and then you can actually look in it, and you've got a very, very clean, shiny barrel. I don't know if you can see that looking through it, but it is looks like new chrome on the inside of that barrel. Okay, this is new age, new school, new technology. Some people like these, some people don't. I thoroughly like them because it saves a lot of time. I'd rather spend my gun time on the range practicing than cleaning, but cleaning is absolutely a necessity. I just don't want it to take any longer than it has to. Okay, so that's our 9mm bore snake. Now you've got other people that may not choose a bore snake. They may choose a cleaning rod with a cleaning rod tip on the end of it, and it's got a patch on there, and you would dip this patch into powder solvent, and you would push it through the barrel and then pull it back through. Some people that are really, really anal retentive about that will tell you that you push it through the barrel and then unscrew it from the cleaning rod and then pull it back through, but all that is cotton cloth, and that's not going to hurt the inside of a barrel. So you would do that, and then you would scrub it with a bronze or stainless steel bore brush. I prefer bronze because bronze is softer than, bronze or brass, is softer than the inside material of the barrel, and you don't lose, you're not wearing your barrel out by using a bronze or brass bore brush. Stainless steel is a little bit harder material, and it can potentially score or wear away tens of thousands of metal off the inside of your barrel. It can just make the barrel wear out faster. And while cleaning, we don't want to make the barrel wear out any faster than it's already going to by firing bullets through it at like 1,300 feet per second. Okay, so that's kind of the function you would do there. Then after you have scrubbed it with a bronze bore brush, you'd put a clean patch on there and run it back through the barrel to get any excess solvent that's in there, anything that the bronze bore brush has loosened. You'd push it out with the patch. To me, that's a lot of work when it can be accomplished all at one time with the proper caliber bore snake. Okay, that's just my thoughts. You may have different thoughts. You know, it's just kind of, it's really individual preference on cleaning your gun. But now, let's say the gun's clean. I've got I've got all the obstructions out of the barrel. I've used an old toothbrush or a nylon brush to clean off any unburnt gunpowder or carbon that may be elsewhere in the gun. You can get these different kind of brushes everywhere. Any of your big box stores. I think this one was at one of the dollar type stores. A package of 3 was like $3.99. They're great for just brushing stuff off your gun. Once you wear out a toothbrush, you can use an old toothbrush just to help brush loose unburnt gunpowder, etc. off of your gun. Once your gun's clean now, you're going to have to lubricate the gun. Now, let me back up for just a second. I'm actually getting a little bit ahead of myself. Gun cleaning solvent. Now, this is a jar that is actually so old of Hoppy's No. 9 powder solvent that the label's actually fallen off of the barrel. This is a fantastic brand of gun cleaning solvent. Basically, the difference in a solvent and a lubricant is that the solvent will strip lubrication off the metal gun parts. It will also loosen any cooked on or baked on powder fouling or any other types of trash that may be in your gun. You can use that powder solvent with a brush and scrub the gun parts and get it completely clean. The bad part about that is while it cleans, it also strips and removes every bit of the lubrication off the metal parts of your gun. Okay? So you will definitely need to re-lubricate after using the solvent. There's different types of solvent. Shooter's Choice makes a fantastic gun solvent. There are many other companies out there that also manufacture gun solvent. You can go online. There's actually a recipe to make homemade gun cleaning solvent. I think it's actually referred to as Red's gun cleaning solvent, and you can look at the recipe if you need to make a large quantity. If you've got a bunch of guns you're cleaning at the same time, but if you're just cleaning 1 or 2 guns 3 or 4 or 5 times a year, then a bottle this size may last you a year or more. Now you get into lubrication of the gun parts. One thing you need to keep in mind about lubrication, your owner's manual and your particular gun specifications will tell you exactly where and how much to lubricate your gun. My daughter, bless her heart, love her to death, her kindergarten teacher told her when using glue, just a dot, not a lot, so kids don't glue their hands together. But anyway, when you're lubricating gun parts, just a dot, not a lot. The reason for that is the more lubrication, which is going to be a petroleum-based lubricant in most cases. It'll either be petroleum-based or it will be synthetic lubricant. It will attract dust, dirt, and grime. The more lubrication you have on there, the more dust, dirt, and grime that is going to attach to your gun and could potentially cause catastrophic failures in that you're going to have malfunctions if your gun won't operate properly. So let's look now for just a second at some different types of lubricant. Some very, very popular lubricants that are out there is Break Free. Break Free is called CLP, Cleans, Lubricates, and Preserve. CLP or Break Free is a great lubricant. Military has used it for years and years. I've used it for years and years. Again, just a dot, not a lot. In the particular areas where your firearm manufacturer recommends you lubricate your gun. Every gun's going to be a little bit different. But Break Free is a fantastic lubricant as well. Rim oil, available at pretty much any gun store. This is a spray out of an aerosol can. It is a low viscosity lubricant, which means it's thinner. It works great. It's good for all firearms. It's totally your personal preference. This is it's called Miltek. It is a polymer and synthetic type lubricant. It actually molecularly, say that 10 times fast, it molecularly bonds to the metal when it gets hot. So it actually bakes in, for lack of a better word, a protective coating onto your gun parts, onto the metal. And it is a drier type lubricant than your brake-free or rim oil or things of that nature. We actually got this sent to us free when we were working in Iraq. It worked great and kept our guns working in that baby powder consistency, dust and sand over in the sandbox. So it worked great. So you may want to consider that. There are other brands out there. There's Frog Lube. And like I said, you can go to any of your big box stores, any of your gun stores, and they're going to have a shelf of different types of lubricant. Any lubricant is better than no lubricant. I've got a friend that will take what is the remainder of his motor oil that he puts in a car or boat or truck or motorcycle or lawnmower or weed eater or whatever the case is. The little bit of residual synthetic oil that he has, he will take that and put it in a container, and then he will use motor oil, synthetic motor oil, just a dot, not a lot, on the different gun parts. His theory is if it runs consistently and keeps a car engine lubricated enough not to blow up, it's going to make it through my 50 or 75 or 100 rounds at the range with no problem. Okay, and he has told me that he has never had a malfunction related to the lubrication on his gun breaking down. Okay, so totally personal preference. It's what you believe, what you want to go with. Now, that being said, there are some lubrication accessories that you may need. Q-tips, patches. Basically, I use my finger, and I'll put my dot on the different areas, and I will rub it in and coat that metal part with lubricant. Again, it sounds kind of stupid, just a dot, not a lot. You don't want to get too much lubrication on your gun. You notice here that I have the frame and the slide and the barrel and the recoil spring and the recoil spring guide. What do you notice that is conspicuously missing from my gun cleaning with lubrication, solvent, etc., etc.? If you said the magazine's not there, you're 100% correct. Magazine should only be cleaned with dry air. You can take it apart, wipe it down with a clean, dry cloth, no lubrication whatsoever on your magazine, because that lubrication can seep into the primers and cause your bullets to misfire. It can start attracting dust and dirt and grime and dust, and can cause your magazine to jam. So no lubrication on the magazine. You can clean it with a clean, dry cloth. Okay, another thing that you may want to do, if you notice, this is a little restaurant-style ramekin, and this appears to be, I won't actually put it on my face because it's got oil on it, it's a blush brush. And back many years ago, my grandfather gave me an old shaving brush. And it's pretty much the same thing. You can take that shaving brush and brush it on your metal gun parts, and it leaves that very light, very thin coat of oil on the part, and that's what you're looking for. So again, any kind of little container with not a lot of oil on a blush brush or old shaving brush, and that can help you there as well. There are different lubricants we talked about. One that's a little bit thicker that I've used when I was shooting a lot of competitions, because you would shoot a lot of rounds in a short period of time, is Shooter's Choice all-weather high-tech grease. And basically I put just a couple of little lines of this onto the slide rails of the different guns that I would be shooting, and it lubricates the slide rails, makes sure that that gun functions well when it needs to function well, because you don't want your gun jamming when you're in a life-threatening situation. You also don't want your gun jamming when you are when you're in the middle of a string firing for score in a firearms competition. Okay, you notice here I've got all this material on a nice neat little cleaning tray. You can get these at different locations. I think this one came from Botach.com. That's BOTACH.com, and it's just a gun cleaning tray. If you don't have one of these fancy schmancy plastic gun cleaning trays, An old cookie sheet will do just as well. Lay it down, and it'll protect your surface that you have all of your equipment on, all of your solvents, lubricants, etc. It'll protect that surface from any of those lubricants or solvents. One thing that you want to keep in mind, I've got, you probably can't see it in the frame right now, I just got a foldable plastic table here. The solvents and the lubricants aren't going to hurt the plastic table. If you're cleaning it at your kitchen table or you're cleaning it on your countertop, you probably want to spread out a towel, use a tray similar to this, or put something down so that any misplaced drops of solvent won't affect your countertops and won't take the finish off of your dining room table. Trust me, word of advice to the wise. Gentlemen, if you're cleaning a gun at your dining room table and you take the finish off of it, your wife ain't going to be happy. Okay? That being said, just a little bit of precaution with a towel to soak up any errant solvent droplets, or a cookie sheet, baking pan that you can pick up pretty much at any store, especially your big box stores, and get that done, and that will help protect it there. Now, gun cleaning kits, and I use my air quotes there, you can go to any sporting goods store, big box store, sporting goods, but a specialty store, gun store, and you can buy a pre-put together gun cleaning kit. A friend of mine actually gave me this one, and it's got all kinds of neat stuff in it. It's got room inside the little bag. You pull out, oh look, it's a gun cleaning mat that I can lay down, and it keeps the surface safe from any of my gun cleaning solvents. It's got a couple of other little dividers in there. It's got items on the side, or where I get these little zipper pouches on the side where you can unzip it and unfold it. And it's got brushes, and it's got the T-handles, and it's got the cables for pulling the jags and the patch holders through the barrels. Okay? And then on the other side, it's got, let's open this and see what it's got in it. It's got solvent and lubricant. This has actually got a little small container of Bushmaster bore cleaner. Okay, so that's actually a solvent. And then you've got the lubricant right here. So you can buy one of these kits that's already put together. Outers makes one. Nitro 9 makes one. And this one is actually it's a Bushmaster gun cleaning kit. It comes all together, and then I'll go ahead and show you this front patch area right here. It's a universal gun cleaning kit. You may go to one of your big box stores and see a little cardboard box that will say pistol cleaning kit or rifle cleaning kit. Really, a lot of the difference in those two is the length of the cleaning rod. These are going to be pistol cleaning rods, and a rifle cleaning rod is going to be quite a bit longer. And you can see here, it's got all the different jags, the bore brushes, everything already built into here. I use this specifically for demonstration. I don't use it for cleaning, but everything's all together in one place. So you can buy a pre-built, for lack of a better term, a pre-built gun cleaning kit for yourself, or you can piecemeal a kit together. And what I mean by that, piecemealing a kit together, you can put something together very similar to what I have right here. Over the years, I have bought several different types of gun cleaning. There for a period of time, I shot several different calibers, and I just bought a tackle box. And I'll hold this up to the camera and show it to you. I just bought a tackle box. It's got different dividers in it, and it's got different caliber bore brushes in there. It's got different caliber swabs in there. It's got a chamber liner that replaces the bolt for cleaning precision rifles. You've just got a lot of options in a tackle box to put everything in. You can use a tackle box, toolbox, an old ammo can. God knows when we were in the military, we threw a bunch of stuff in ammo cans, latched it up, and that was our gun cleaning kit. But you can piecemeal one together. You can buy the pre-built kit for yourself. The biggest thing is just making sure that periodically you clean your gun. It is important. Another thing that a lot of people don't pay a lot of attention to is having a good shop towel or a good cleaning cloth that you can wipe the solvent and oil from your hands. I've got a lot of friends that will wear rubber or nitrile gloves. I prefer the nitrile because they're more chemical resistant. Ladies, if you are cleaning your gun and you have manicured nails, keep those away from the solvent because the solvent is going to contain some acetone. Kelly, do you by any chance know what else contains acetone?
Fingernail polish remover.
Oh, fingernail polish remover.
And fingernail remover.
Yeah, and fingernail remover. So some of your gun cleaning solvents do have acetone in them, which is the same thing as fingernail polish remover. So be careful with that because it can take off a freshly manicured set of French nails when you're cleaning your gun. So just be aware of that. But make sure you got a shop towel around to wipe up any mess that you made. And that's really about it. Gun cleaning is very simple. In our Ladies Get Your Gun cleaning course, it talks specifically about how to clean the gun. So if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to send us email to info@pupwud.com, and that's PUPWUD.com. Also, one of the things we talked about at the first of the video, we talked about the consequences of not cleaning your gun. The biggest consequence of not cleaning your gun is minor malfunctions. Failure to feed, failure to extract, failure to eject. You want to make sure that the area behind your extractor is brushed clean and dry. Some more serious consequences of not cleaning your gun is you could have a catastrophic failure. If somehow you've gotten an obstruction in your barrel and you load a fresh round into your gun and you go to fire, that's going to cause a catastrophic malfunction or catastrophic failure. Your gun is literally going to explode in your hand. Now, granted, our guns are made, most of our guns these days are made out of some polymer and some metal. The metal parts are going to survive a catastrophic failure much more than the polymer parts will, but it will usually blow the gun apart. And while the gun's being blown apart, where is it currently being held? In your hand. Flesh and bone do not survive as well as metal when it comes to catastrophic failures. So those are some unintended consequences of not cleaning your gun. Simple, such as not firing, not ejecting, failure to feed, or it could be something as serious as a catastrophic failure where your gun literally blows up in your hand. We've all seen the cartoons, back before cartoons had to be politically correct. We've all seen the cartoons where somebody would shoot a gun and the barrel would just kind of flail apart at the end. Well, that can actually happen, and you can go on other people's YouTube channels, which I don't recommend, but you go on other people's YouTube channels and you can see catastrophic failures of firearms because of barrel obstructions. Okay, that being said, just talked about YouTube. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe, and smash that notification bell so that you'll get notifications as soon as we post a new video. And at the end of all of our videos that we do, and the end of our chats that we do, we take questions from some of our students. And I know that Kelly right now has some questions from some of our students. So, no pun intended. Shoot, Kel.
Okay. Okay, Jolanta said, how often do I clean my gun? And if it's just a matter of time, how often do I need to, like if I'm not shooting it often, is there a time I need to shoot or clean?
I'm going to give you again the favorite answer from some of my friends that are lawyers, and it depends. But it depends on some particular factors. If you're taking your gun into different environmental conditions. That's a fancy way of saying if you're taking it into rain, sleet, snow, bringing it back in the house where it's hot, and then you're taking it out into the cold and it's getting condensation on it. A lot of manufacturers recommend that you clean your gun once every 30 days, whether you've shot it or not. But my question is, why are you going 30 days without shooting? You should never go 30 days without shooting. But anyway, if you do, clean your gun as needed. If you're taking it in and out of different environmental conditions, it gets wet, it gets damp, it probably needs to be cleaned, wiped down with a clean dry cloth, or maybe a new coat of lubrication put on it to prevent any parts that can rust from rusting. As far as time periods, again, manufacturers say every 30 days. If you are just keeping your gun loaded in your gun safe or in your bedside table, and it's not being brought out into different environmental conditions, rain, sleet, snow, those types of things, dusty conditions, you're probably not going to have to clean it more than 2 or 3 times a year. But that's kind of the function on that. If you go to the range, I recommend doing a quick cleaning after every 50 to 75 rounds, and a detailed, field stripped detailed cleaning after every 150 to 250 rounds. That's just the way I do it. You may want to clean it after every time you go to the range, and that's okay. Next question.
All right, this is from Denise. Says, I am midway through my basic training and ready to go to the range. How many rounds of ammo should I be taking with me?
Good question. As many as you can carry. No, I'm just kidding. How many rounds of ammo? Perfect practice makes perfect. I can go to the range and just blindly fire 50 rounds and never hit my target, and I've not really accomplished anything by doing that. But I would recommend every time I go to the range, I'm going to shoot at least 50 rounds. But those are going to be, a lot of them very slow, methodical, thought out shots, very well aimed shots. And I'm going to practice those 5 marksmanship fundamentals when I'm using those good, well-placed shots. Other times, I may have a target in front of me, and while I hesitate to use the word quick draw, I'm going to do rapid fire on that target to make sure that I can hit a target center mass without necessarily using my sights and getting that perfect sight alignment, sight picture. So I would recommend having at least 50 rounds with you when you go to the range. But some people go fire 10, 15, 20 rounds. They've accomplished what they wanted to do for that day. The biggest thing for you to know and remember is that when practicing, whether you're shooting 10 rounds or whether you're shooting 50 rounds, you've got to practice those marksmanship fundamentals that we talk about in depth in our Ladies Get Your Gun firearm training course. Any additional questions?
Yep, we have one more.
Okay.
This is from Jessie. It says, I love my dummy rounds that I got when I got my basic training. Where can I get more for a different gun?
When Jessie said she loves her dummy, I hope she wasn't talking about her husband or her significant other. Dummy rounds. We actually send those out free to ladies when they purchase the Ladies Get Your Gun basic training course. But dummy rounds are a very, very effective method of practicing loading, unloading at your home. They are, of course, very safe rounds. It is a piece of brass. It's got a plastic bullet in it. You have to buy a specific dummy round for the caliber of your firearm. You can get those in different places. The most economical way, or most economical place to get those, is go onto Amazon, Google 9mm or 40 caliber dummy rounds, and they're available in usually packages of 10 for like $7, $8, $10. You know, just kind of shop around a little bit. Some of them are manufactured. They are 100% plastic. The ones that I prefer is actually a shell casing that has a plastic projectile that's been inserted into it, and those seem to be a little bit more durable than the 100% plastic dummy rounds. But you can get those at any of your sporting goods stores as well as online, and I bought dozens through Amazon. So hopefully that answered your questions. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for being here with us this evening with Let's Talk Guns with Pupwud. Again, you can go to our website, and that is pupwud.com. Our email is info at pupwud.com. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That'll let you know when we posted new content on our YouTube page. Thank you very much for being here, and as always, shoot straight, be safe. Until next time.